Hey everybody, just Chase Dowling here. No, it's not another episode of Our Hill to Die On. I'm actually just posting for myself because I am one of your representatives on the water board or district, PUD anyways, and just wanted to share this video. I sat down with Tori Merkley this week and we got together and did kind of a post-podcast kind of thing, and I think it turned out pretty good. She asked me some good questions, and hopefully I answered them all right. There were a few that I got that I didn't quite answer right because I've never really been interviewed, so I, don't really know how that all goes. But there were some questions like about the water district, like how many sales of water we've done. I said 2. We've done 3. I should have known that. But all of it was there to pay for infrastructure. So I hope you guys enjoy this. If you have any questions or comments, comment down below in the comment section. And have fun.
So you were elected to the board, and this is only for Forest Hill, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Yes, that is correct, Tori.
Hurrah!
Hey, we got one! So
Wonderful. But that was what, last December of 24?
Yes.
And you only serve for 4 years?
Well, I got elected in November.
Okay.
And then I didn't take office till December. The first meeting in December is what.
And the technical name is Forest Hill Public Utility District.
Yes.
And by being it public, that means it's different than private. Can you explain what that difference is?
That's a good question. You're good at this.
I know.
That was fucking really good.
Thanks.
So yeah, I mean, we're not a private entity like PG&E or anything like that. It's publicly owned. So the people within the district basically own the district, or that's my understanding of it anyways. And so they elect 5 board members every year, or not every year, it's like 3 every 4 years, and then 2 every 4 years, and then those are staggered. So every 2 years, there's always an election going on for the PUD.
And they're always on the ballot. Oh.
Yeah, they'll be on the ballot. Yeah. Yeah, and then this last election, they had to select 2, and they selected myself and Diane Foster.
Nice. You get along with everybody on the board?
Of course I get along with everybody. I get along with everybody.
Oh,
Tori,
great.
you know this.
There was 5 of them.
You know this. Yeah, there's 5 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So being that it's publicly owned, what power do the people have when it comes to decision making? Do they have any, or just by electing you 5, that gives you guys?
So it's like anything else kind of set up in the United States, right? It's all representative government. It's basically a republic, a representative republic. So I am the representative for all the constituency, everybody that's within the district, just like all the other 4,
Right.
those 5 are all representatives of the people in the district. So we make the decisions for they elect us to make the decisions for them, basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which is normal.
Yeah.
And funding for this entity comes from the ratepayers or from elsewhere, or how else do you guys get funds?
So, from my understanding, and like I said, this podcast is not going to be, or this post or whatever you want to call it, is not going to be like me. I'm not representing the board in any way in this podcast. This is just me as a director sitting on the board and answering questions of what people want to see from me,
Right.
and what I can do to help them kind of be their representative. So, what was the question again?
I don't know. Okay, PUD. Board set staff. How many employees are there? Just curious.
Oh, we were talking about ratepayers, and I'll get back to employees in a second.
Ratepayers of where your funds
and where the funding comes from.
Yeah.
So the funding does come from our water bills, right? And so we have you have a meter or service fee, and then you pay per gallon. I think that's typically the way the rate structure is set up right now, or I think it's like per 1,000 gallons or something like that. And then the general manager has been getting grants and things of that nature to also help in the sale of water too from the reservoir. So
how many times have you guys done that?
I think it's twice now.
Really? When was that?
Then that's been in the past. I think one was like in 2015 or 16, and then one was in 2020 20 or 21, 22, somewhere in there. That was before I was on the board. So and both of those water sales, from what I've been told, and then what was publicly aware at the time, the first water sale that they did was to pay for the new 1,000,000-gallon tank up at the treatment plant above town.
Okay.
Because our other 3 tanks were failing, and they're still failing, but they got to get replaced. But and then the other one was for a pipeline project. It helped fund the pipeline project that went through downtown, because that system was old and failing
And
and
that's already
leaking
been
everywhere.
successfully
Well,
reinstalled.
you remember all that stuff that was going by Valero when they had all that, was a couple of years ago.
No.
You don't remember?
No.
But you don't pay attention to nothing.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Well, we were living at our old house in town at the time,
so
so we
you're
were,
right there.
it had to go right by the house and everything else.
In the thick of it.
Yep.
Oh, how many employees? Is it like how big?
I believe it's 9. So you got 4 guys in the plant, and then I think it's like 8 or 9, including Hank. So you got the 2 ladies in the office, the 2 part-time ladies in the office, then you have Amber, and then Hank. So would that be 8, I guess?
Oh, that's not very many.
8 or 9. No, not very many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they're doing a good job?
Yeah, I think they do. I think the people in the plant do a great job. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you, since you've been on the board and president this past year, have you seen any things that frustrate you or any things that you like? Has there been any changes?
So the frustrating part, let's just start out with that. And that's actually, the frustrating part is actually the thing that makes it good, because like I said, this is just from my point of view as a director. This has nothing to do, I'm not speaking for the PUD when I say this, but the frustrating part is the board's a bit divided, right? You have,
It's good to get different perspectives.
but that's also the saving grace. That's the thing that I like the most, is because the
Right.
board's divided. Because if people just all agreed all the time,
Right.
that's when fraud and deception and things like that can happen. But if you have, a board that's, you have people that are looking into things and other people, then they're always counteracting each other, then you can find out what the real truth of it is. And now a lot of people be like, oh God, this is terrible. And these meetings are, people are kind of dysfunctional sometimes, in my point of view. But even with that, it's like, well, this is actually what a representative republic should be. It should never just be a rubber stamp for things that are going on. So.
And all of your meetings are posted?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they're all trained. And that was actually something.
Them?
People do attend. We don't get a lot of attendance just because it's on a Wednesday night. I get it. It's Wednesday at 6, the second Wednesday of every month, from 6 till whenever. Typically 2 to 3 hour meetings is kind of the way they've been. There's been a couple that have kind of gone over that when we've had some policy issues we were trying to get through and stuff like that. But the other cool thing is right as soon as Diane and myself got on the board, we had a meeting, and the board voted to, maybe in February of this last year, voted to actually purchase a thing called an OWL for the board. And now that records all the meetings. So all of our meetings are posted to the video, posted to the website. So that's pretty cool.
That is neat.
So
nice.
That's what me as a ratepayer, that's what I think is actually, I've been able to go on to that and look at, I'm like, did I say that? And then I go back and look and I'm like, oh, I did say that, or I did vote on that.
Good.
It's been pretty nice.
What made you want to be on this board?
There was a few people actually from the community came to me and said, hey, Chase, because I was the chair of the forum for probably 2 or 3 years there. And I'd sat on the forum since 2012. And so a couple people from the community came to me and said, hey, the PUD's board is kind of dysfunctional, and would you mind going and taking a look and seeing if you can run? And I was like, man, I really don't have the time.
Right.
And then I went to, and this is nothing against the people that were on the board at the time. It was just because everybody was talking past each other.
You just thought you could bring some.
And I was hoping that I could bring a little bit of stability to it and just kind of get us going in a direction, even if we all disagree.
Yeah.
You could have 5 people that all disagree, but if we all disagree in an orderly fashion, that's that's a little bit better than just because there's nothing wrong. That's our great when you have it at a local level like this. That's the great thing about having you can see the dysfunction in that, or you can see the disagreement, not necessarily dysfunction, but you can see the disagreement, and people can go, "Oh, I agree with that disagreement."
Yeah.
When it happens at a national level is when it gets
too
many chiefs, not enough Indians.
Right. What are some of the things that you guys vote on?
The board should we'll vote to approve a budget, and
for the year
for the yearly budget. That they'll put together and vote on policy. Certain board action items and things like that certain directors will bring up, things like that, and that's all public record. You can go in and see all that stuff. So
nice. Yeah. And then you have a meeting coming up next week.
Next week.
Okay.
Next Wednesday.
So I think this is kind of good for those families who are concerned or have issues with the process but can't make it to a meeting or whatever. They can ask questions here or whatever. This, we're thinking, could be posted every quarter or every month.
Yeah, I'm thinking, if we could try to do it, if people want to see information like this on the PUD, because that's been my biggest issue, I think, with kind of being a representative for everybody else is I try to talk to as many people, and I get out in the community and I talk, I have plenty of people I talk to, but I don't talk to everybody. I can only talk to a certain few people, and so it's like, well, what's actually the community thinking? What does the community think about the PUD? What's their feelings on it? What would they like to see me represent for them? What do they want to see me pursue for them for the PUD? Or is everything great? Or are the water rates fine? Are the when is the the next sale of water going to be? Things like that. So I'm just trying to be a proactive representative and get out there. Now this is what I would like to see from every other board in town too. Yeah. I'd like to see other directors get on here and say, oh, this is what their view is on things, and this is what I'll actually be representing. Because who's our representative in Congress? Kevin Kiley for the House of Representatives. And he'll have town halls that you can call into every now and then and ask questions. But not enough, I don't think. And even, not to throw Kevin Kiley or just that system under the bus a little bit, but is Kevin Kiley really going to listen to my voice? Yeah. Not that that's here nor there, but the system's just too big. He has to represent 700,000 people. How is he going to hear my voice? So when we get down to this local level, when we have 6,000 people in our community, I'm one of, I think, 10 representatives. You got 5 for the public utility district, and then you have, I think it's 5 for the fire district. Mm-hmm. And I haven't seen really anybody sit down from the fire district or the public utility district in the past, and I'd like to change that because I want to get this dialogue with people going.
Yeah, well, and not just the dialogue, because it could be happening, we just don't see it.
Yeah, it could be happening. It could be happening. Exactly. You're exactly right. Yeah.
So not only having this video that we could put out to the community, but also a place where they can have feedback heard, right, for the next one. Be like, so when I talked to you the other day about the sale of water, is that something that you guys regularly do, or you only did it for a specific structure that needed replacing?
So when, like I said, I'm going to answer just as a representative, not for the board, because I can't. This is not board approved or anything like this. This is just coming from me. Right. This is all public knowledge too. If you want to go on the PUD website, I'm pretty sure you can find most of it. And even if you can't find it there, it was pretty well known at the time. Because there's been no sales of water since I've been on the board. Now we did have some stuff last February to look into. I think we voted on something that said, do we want to sell water if the opportunity comes up this year? Right. And I'm pretty sure you can go back and look at the minutes, but I'm pretty sure we voted yes to do that. Okay. So it's just something that comes up every year. So the selling of water is, I think, and I've always thought this ever since they've been doing it in, like I said, in 2016, I think it was 21 or 22 or 20, somewhere in there, because it helps not raise our rates. Like, we can sell water. If we have water storage and another place needs it, and we can sell it, then that helps us improve our capital, our infrastructure.
And
basically.
we've never been at risk of, if we sell it, are we not going to have enough for our own, right? I think that was a concern of some people too.
Yeah, to my knowledge, no. And like I said, that's not coming from me from sitting on the board. That's just from me in the public life.
Yeah.
Just knowing and everything that I've seen, and even ask questions to. They've never had been like, oh God, we're going to run out of water. We need to, we're going to sell water and we're not going to have enough for ourselves. You can only sell, from my knowledge, you can only sell a certain amount of water. You can't, they won't let you sell it if you're
drain it.
They won't let you do that.
So I wonder what the concern was mainly for so many people in town with that.
At the time,
recreation effect.
It was recreation effect. I think is really the thing, because they don't understand. A lot of people that I've talked to before I was on the board.
Because it was right in the middle of summer.
It was right in the middle of summer,
right,
but you don't sell water in the wintertime.
Right.
You just don't.
There's not just because you don't, because there's plenty, but because there are laws against it.
Yeah, there are kind of laws regulating, because all of our water transfers that come out of Sugar Pine, they have to go down through the BOR system.
Okay.
And the BOR system only lets you move water through their system, Folsom and the aqueducts and all that other stuff that are down there. They only let you move water in certain times a year. So when you're selling water, you only have like a 2 or 3 month time span that you can move that water out of there. So when people are like, oh God, why can't we just do it in October?
Right.
Well, people don't need the water in October.
True.
They're not going to pay. They need the water in July and August.
Right.
So those are the times. Or why did we sell it in June? Well, they needed it in June.
Right.
And it's not like you have, 20 other utility districts coming to us and saying, hey, we need your water.
Well, that's
right
what I was
now.
going to say. Do you have people coming and asking?
To my knowledge, and this, like I said, because this would be actually a really good question for Hank, but from what I've seen in the past, is no, there's only like a couple people, couple districts that are out there that are going, hey, we need water type of thing from this source or that.
Yeah. And we sell it anywhere outside of California, or it's just local?
Well, no, you can't. It wouldn't.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, no, it's just basically local.
Like
It's just
in
California.
on the route.
Yeah, along the route of the water,
route,
basically.
Because they're not like trucking it out.
Yeah, it's we can't put it on trucks or on trains and haul it over to Reno.
Right.
Let's take our Sugar Pine water and put it in Tahoe, Tori.
No, I'm just saying. But I think if it goes down to LA or that way, or goes into that way, I don't have no idea.
Yeah, I think it little towns
Does it
along
even
the.
go that far?
Well,
Who
you
did
got
they
to
even
you
sell
can
it
get it
to?
to the aqueduct, as far as I don't know where it goes to once it gets
Me either.
past that point. That's.
That brings up a good point. So when it comes to the process and the assembly line of that, do you guys offer field trips or anything to get any community members and or the schools to get more familiar with the process of what our water?
As far as I know, they've put kind of field trips together in the past that people, hey, come look at the dam and come look at the process, come look at the plant. So and that's something that I know the district is interested. Like if you call the district, or if you're at the school, or if you want to put a group together, and you call them and say, hey, what's a good time and when can we do this? They'll I'm pretty sure they'll work pretty diligently to put something together, because I know they've talked about it in the past when I've been in there talking to people and stuff like that.
Because
like, hey,
I know
do this.
With PCWA, what's his face, Specco,
Andy,
because his kids went to the charter, so we did a tour of French Meadows Dam and all of that stuff. And
oh, really?
around there, yeah,
that's freaking sweet.
It was really cool.
Andy, he took you guys up there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, super nice.
Yeah, super nice.
So what's the difference? I know you kind of talked about it already, but the difference between private. Do most towns have a private water district, or are they all public generally? Or
Generally,
how do you decide when to make a business public versus private?
Generally, most water districts and stuff like that, from my knowledge, are public.
Okay.
And it's just like a sewer district, and a lot of the power thing is a little different. That's where people get kind of confused because it's a utility.
Yeah.
But PG&E was started privately.
Okay.
So, and it's stayed privately, or this is my knowledge, just in being a resident of California. whereas like when Forest Hill was started back in the 50s, or the public utility district in Forest Hill was started, people kind of got together and were like, hey, we need to provide water for the town. And so they got together and created a utility district and then had representatives and worked it that way. So when it comes to utilities, and especially like sewer, people don't really make money on sewer, so it wouldn't be private. People can make money on power, and that's different.
Gotcha.
People could make money off of water too if they really wanted to, but
Well, PCWA is not public, right?
no, it's public.
It is
Yeah.
public. And they have a board in there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so Sugar Pine is our only source,
Yeah, Sugar Pine's our only source of water.
and then our district goes all the way down to Mesa Verde. You said?
Mesa Verde?
Nope. What are they?
Is that
Monte
Monteverde? Would be the- it's morning time, folks.
Yeah.
She's not quite awake yet.
And goes all the way up to Michigan Bluff, right? But does
No,
it not
no,
Oh, no. It doesn't.
No, so our basically our district starts at like Blackhawk right
Okay.
there. Yeah. And then I don't know the perfect district boundaries, but then like there's a government line that goes all the way down to Monteverde and stuff like that. And, I'm
So
not
does
exactly
Michigan
sure
Bluff get their water?
how it all works out. That part I'm still really unsure on, and
Okay.
so that'd be a question that I'd have to ask Hank and kind of get
Okay.
the details more on, but yeah, it does not go to Baker Ranch has its own, and then I believe Michigan Bluff is all wells,
Oh, is it?
and there's even parts of like town here, like the dump road, like Patton, and all that right there, that's not even in the district, that's all wells.
Yeah. From me, well, I had a question. If there was some sort of incentive if you're out of town, what we were talking about the other day about vacation mode or something to set it in, because I know you said the base rate stays the same regardless of how much water you use, and if you go over that, then you have.
Well, so
$10
that's
$20 more.
the way it's right now, you have a meter fee, like you'll
Right.
have a meter fee, like
Okay.
it's a service fee, so that's like your base rate. So no matter what you're going to be paying, if you have a meter, you're going to be paying. I think it's on and like I said, I'm just your representative, so I don't have the numbers completely in front of me right now. But for like a 5/8 meter, it's like $75 for the base rate, and for a 3/4 inch meter, it's like it's in the 90s. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure. And then you get charged per 1,000 gallons after that. So people's bills do this number. Whereas it used to be when I first moved into Forest Hill from Iowa Hill, our bill was like $35 a month or something like that. And you got 10,000 gallons a month with that for that $35 a month. So,
And is that rate pretty standard in comparison to other towns
as far as what we're paying now,
right now?
yeah, we're about in the middle.
Really?
So we're higher than some, we're lower than some, and from the research I've done, because people, that's been like people come up to me and they're like, what can we do to lower our rates? Because I mean, like I said, when I moved up here, our rate was pretty low,
Right.
and it was that way forever. I mean, it was really low for a long time, and then, but we were having failing infrastructure happening, so that's like, okay, we got to raise our,
Right.
the community went through and they raised the rates. Or
So
the-
do you
the district
feel
did.
like if once infrastructure is maintained and updated, then rates could go back down, or it's always going to stay at that rate because
Well, you have,
there will always be
because there will
something
always
fixed?
be something like, so, and I'm a pipeline contractor too, so like I haven't done it in a long time, but pipe only has a certain lifetime when it's in the ground. It doesn't last indefinitely. I mean, you get pipe that lasts longer than others, but it's all like soil composition and stuff like that will erode pipe faster. What they put in, what type of pipe it was when they put it in the ground. So, there's portions of Todd Valley. So when Todd Valley was built, and this is all just, like I said, I'm not representing, this is not the PUD stance on anything. This is all just local history from me.
Right.
So when Todd Valley was built, the type of pipe they used was probably like a 60 to 70 year pipe that they put in the ground when they were building that whole system. So now, and that was built, Todd Valley was
70s.
built out in the 70s.
Yeah.
So now we're looking at, we're starting to come to the end of some of that pipe that's in the ground down there.
And you guys do have a surplus though that would cover that currently.
Yeah, that's why you run a surplus, is so you can put, and that's just good business there. You run a surplus, so when issues like this come up, that we can start doing capital improvement programs.
Right.
And there's a lot of other smaller districts that, and I mean, I shouldn't say a lot, but there are some other smaller districts that are having some troubles that they haven't put money aside for these situations, and their bill might be a little bit cheaper, but now they're starting to run into infrastructure problems. So there's luckily we've had a surplus, and that's actually on our. If you break down the bill, it's actually there's a capital improvement portion in your bill that says that.
Gotcha. So when you guys sold the water that was supposed to pay for that tank, has that been replaced?
Yeah, it's up. That's that 1 million gallon tank that we have up
Gotcha.
Up at the plant. Yeah, and then the second sale of water was to replace that pipeline, the pipe coming through town, because I think that one had been in there since the 50s, and that one was leaking constantly all over the place. It was tearing up roads. It was bad. So yeah.
Okay.
And then the pipeline is actually cost more to do than the freaking tank did, I think.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Whoa.
It's expensive.
I don't know. How do you want people to ask questions for the next time? Do you want them to comment? Do you want them to
Comment,
email
message,
you?
email me, whatever you've got. You can message on my Facebook would probably be the best way, or comment on this video post, whatever how we're doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
But that would be because I want to get everybody's input from the community. Like if you got questions, because I really want PUD to be trusted, and to let everybody know that we're that we're trying to do the right thing, and that we're trying to move in the right direction. And what I would want to see from my representatives is that I'm actually representing you. I'm actually representing your concerns. I'm voicing your concerns. Yeah. And that goes for every other representative that's on the board too. If you don't trust me or whatever, and you didn't vote for me, that's fine. I'm not concerned about that. I mean, I'm still representing you, but if you got somebody else that you'd rather talk to or send a message to, do that. That's like something that you should be constantly doing. And we don't take advantage of that as a community enough, I don't think, because we are small enough to where we can actually have a voice and have a say in what is going on in our districts.
Right. I think the biggest thing too is not just with this board or this website, but every person, mom, dad, family, is so overwhelmed with their own specific lives that in order to go research and go find the website, go find the information, read through all of that, and hopefully find the answer they're looking for, just as initially so overwhelming that they're just going to skip it and be like, well, I'm just going to complain and be frustrated and leave it at that.
Right.
But I feel like this way you're bringing it to the people. They're already on Facebook. They see the video pass by. They're like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to ask this question.
Right.
And get the answer right away.
No, I think that's a lot of people. I'm that way.
Me too.
I mean, I don't.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not going to go to the meeting. I'm not even going to remember the meeting.
Right. Right. You're not even going to know what's said in the meeting half the time.
And if I do remember the meeting, I have 3 games that day of this little league game, that soccer game, that whatever.
100%.
So
100%. So that's where I'm trying to be kind of proactive. And I think the districts in our town, I think the fire district would benefit from doing this as well. Come out and just say, get a representative that wants to do that.
Yeah.
If you're a representative for any of the districts in our town, make a post, because this is where a lot of people consume get their information from these days.
Locally versus nationally.
And then one thing that I do want to try to push the district to do is, if I can start pushing for, more, I think the districts being fairly transparent, they post the budgets, we post our minutes, we have the video online and stuff like that.
But who's going to that website?
But exactly, well, and not only who's going to that website, but who's navigating the website,
right,
to try to get that information. So if we can
watching the whole 40-minute thing without this is minute 47 is when they talk about
and having it all broke down, and that's so if we can get something to where it kind of just shoves it out in your face, and we go, it's like
Yeah.
if a naked guy's in his living room, and he sits there in his house naked all day, nobody even knows that he's naked. But as soon as he starts running and streaking through town
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
and starts flashing it in everybody's face, everybody goes, "Okay, I get it."
Right.
That is not me, by the way. I don't do that.
Do we have any other things that we talked about that we haven't talked about that we were planning on talking about?
No, I don't think so. I don't
so
think
either.
so.
I think it covers most preliminary, right? If other people have questions
Yeah,
that we didn't bring
then
up.
we can. And
That
see-
was the only thing I was hoping for, is to get you to talk to the general manager and give somebody a vacation rate, because I don't want to pay $80 for not being home.
Yeah, and that would be something that we could probably bring up in, as an agenda item, or it would see what the legalities of it are first.
Right.
That's something that I'll have to look into, because I agree with you on that.
Yeah, well, I
but
mean-
now whether we can legally do it, because
Possible.
there's certain things that the California State Water Board has, like, in California law, has like blankets over, like, you can't do these things or you can do these things, or so I don't even know if it's even feasible to do that with
Right.
the way we're set up. I have no idea.
Right. From my perspective, a $90 bill for not being home is a huge thing for me, but for
Mm-hmm.
you guys with a surplus in the millions, it's probably not even pennies, right?
Well, that
If it's doable.
when you look
obviously.
at the surplus in the millions thing too, we have to kind of reference that.
It's already ear tag.
That surplus is for capital improvement. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to, there's certain things we have to replace pipeline,
Mm.
a couple sections of pipeline through our plant. And there's also we need another water tank, because the other 2 out of the 3 that we had that were the Vietnam era that are still up there being used right now, they're starting to fail.
Okay.
So, that money, and when you look at those projects, especially with inflation and where everything's gone
Right.
over the last, 10 years, since we did that since the district, not we, because I'm only a representative, but since the district did that first water sale, I mean, prices have gone up exponentially. So
Yeah.
I think it costs, this was just in the papers and stuff, and what I'm trying to just remember off the top of my head, when they replaced that tank, I think it was like $2 million.
Okay.
To
Yeah.
do that big 1 million gallon tank. Well, that was 10 years ago.
Gotcha.
So already know what inflation has done over the last,
Right.
and whether whose fault that is, we're not going to debate that. But
It's your fault.
it's 100% my fault. I am the one.
When
But-
in doubt, blame Chase.
Yeah, I always try to blame Tori.
Oh, good.
Because you're the one with the camera and causing all the shit.
Right.
It's-
I'm usually behind the camera.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're behind the camera, not typically sitting in front of it.
Right.
So now you have to be a little bit more cautious. I mean, you're
I had to
usually
shower. So
you're-
that was good.
That's- the stench is real.
Oh,
Oh god.
okay, so we'll let the community know that this is out. Let them know that they do have a voice, and make it as easy as possible for people to be heard with their
Mhm.
questions. Not like, hey, when is the dump open?
Yeah. When's the dump open? What was that loud noise? Whose dog is this?
Your dog's out.
Your dog's out. It's been out. Thanks.
I know. If you leave it alone, I bet it'll come back.
Yeah, just don't touch it. Don't feed it.
mean-
Don't feed. If there's a stray dog,
Take it.
don't feed the stray dog. It will go home.
Yes.
I had a problem with that with my dog.
Yeah.
Sandy at the gas station used to feed him treats all the time, so then he would escape to go down there to get treats.
Right.
When I lived in town.
Not gonna keep them coming back.
Yeah, no, it's
Right.
Kathy and Sandy, God bless it.
You being the president lasts a year, or lasts until they vote someone else to that?
This next meeting, the board will vote to who. It's a yearly position.
Okay.
So I got elected as board chair or president this last year, and then in January's meeting they re-up it. And so
Okay.
you vote to have a new.
Can you be it again, or you cannot do it?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay.
So
I know some
whether I
boards-
will be or not, I don't know. But
Right. I know some boards they do not let them be it again, or you can only do it two times.
two times, yeah, it's 2 times. But then, like I know, like Tamara West, when she was board president, I think she was the whole time she was there. She was the board president.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think she was there for 4 years, or maybe even longer, even at the time. So,
So you can be longer. I mean, as long as you keep getting voted in.
yeah, if the rest of the board votes you in, as for that, to my knowledge.
I feel like that is a hard thing to do. Me not knowing really what the board was about and then seeing it on the ballot, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
I know Chase.
I know that guy. Did you vote for anybody else?
No.
Yeah, see,
Because I didn't know them.
You don't know how many
how
many people have told me that, and like they're like, well, I just knew you, so I said, yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's my point of, do people need to be well informed, or if they're fine with whatever, and that's the point of the board, is like, yeah, I trust you to do your thing because I'm still busy and overwhelmed with my own life.
Mhm.
Is that okay? Or should they get more informed as to who the people are that they're voting for? And what does that even mean? Like, do I think you're going to be good with water, or do I just think you're funny and you're my friend? You know,
You
so how do
probably think the latter, I'm sure.
right.
Yeah.
So how do you know
So-
if someone's running,
Well,
how
trust
they're
is,
going to be successful?
trust is a
in
huge
this
thing, and that's
sport?
where like I don't want to misplace people's trust in
Right.
our community, because like they did vote for me to get in there. So now it's my job, and here's the thing too, is I'm not a water guy.
Right.
Like I know you drink this stuff and it's wet. like and
Comes
I
out
know a
of
little
the
bit
sky
I know a little bit about infrastructure because I'm a pipeline contractor too. Or,
Right.
you know, I still hold that license. So those two things I can get, but my main objective was to just make sure that we're, you know, I have a lot of experience on boards. And I chair the fire safe council. I was the president of the Iowa Hill Community Club for
Yeah.
10, 15 years, however long that was.
Little League, you were part of that.
Yeah,
for a while.
well, that was more Whitney was part of the Little League, and I just
yeah.
helped. But and then
the CDC,
in the CDC, you know, I'm chairing the CDC now.
the
so
Forest Hill Forum.
I chaired the Forest Hill Forum, so I know kind of how board function and board functionality should work.
Right.
Now, is our board functioning? Am I doing the best job? I don't know.
Right.
But that's okay in my eyes. That's okay to have dissension and to have people disagree. I think that's where
Yeah.
you get the best
Right.
things to happen. But
Yeah. So what does success look like then? If you're not sure, I mean, action, right? But how much action is taking place if you're 9 employees and Hank as the general manager? If they're doing their job correctly, what does success look like for this board? Be like, yes, this year we did it.
before this board
World's
would
best
be,
cup of coffee.
yeah, you did it. There's congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hope you find your dad. Anyway.
But right, like, what does success look like?
So in my eyes, success looks like we get the board, like, because disagreement's fine, but we get the board running in operational mode, and that's been to where everybody knows what they can and can't do, and there's clear guidelines to where people aren't confused and frustrated and things like that, and then get the community to trust us again, you know, and they should trust us
Do you
because
feel like there was a lot of distrust before?
I think there was a lot of confusion, and I think there might have been some distrust in the past, but you know,
I mean, those
boards
questions will come out.
the boards, those questions will come out. Those
They'll
things
be
will
like,
come out.
this is what I'm mad at.
Yeah, this is what I'm mad at. I'm mad at you for wearing what is that hat with the symbol on your hat? That's a
Fiore?
terrible symbol. You know.
Totally terrible.
Yeah, I have no idea. Valkyrie is what it stands for. But
Right. So, gaining the trust, whether it was broken or not, or whether it was fine.
But yeah, whether it was fine, but just in being more transparent. And
do you feel like it was secretive?
no, I don't think. But
Okay.
just like you to your level of transparency, what you were talking about, people are
bringing it to their.
bringing it to their
front
face.
door.
Yeah, to bringing it to their front door and going, look, this is you. This is the thing you don't have to worry about in your
Yeah.
life.
And I think that's when it comes to politics nationally too, is in having a dialogue with this, with questions and with actual people involved with the correct answers, not just hearsay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus do your own research. I did mine.
Yeah,
You know, like no one's gonna not want to talk to you anymore.
yeah.
2, they're not having the time or energy or any of this fake news too of what is correct research, what is this. So having someone be the voice who's actually involved in the details to be brought to them, right? I think is a good strategy.
No, I think so too. And that's the other thing. And I always try to take it back to like the founding of America. Like, okay, now we're going to get deep right now. But like when the founders founded America, there was 13 colonies, 13 states,
Right.
and there was only 9 million people
Right.
in the whole United States.
When they wrote all that. Right.
And each representative only represented 30,000 people, roughly about 30,000 people. Now each representative in the House of Representatives represents right around an average of 720,000 people.
Which is insane.
And well, even at 30,000 people is insane.
But then what's the solution to that? If you have more representatives, then there's 500 in there instead of 300 plus, and there's still
you don't make more representatives at that level. That would be terrible, because then there's stuff that already doesn't get done.
Right.
So, but you just bring governing more local. And I preach this. Everybody's heard me preach it. It's fucking on every podcast that I do, basically. And if anybody's ever talked to me at Brewmasters knows that like I'm very passionate about local government. like bring everything local, because you and I can sit here and you can tell me your issue, and then I can actually be on the board and go bring up that issue and get you an answer.
Right.
But and if you've ever heard of what's the Dunbar's number? And that's like how many people you know, like how many people you'll know through a lifetime, and then how many people away does it make you connected. So like in our community, 6,000 people is about as many, anywhere from 4,000 to 8,000 people is about as many people as you want in a community for local representation. Right. Because you and I, you'll know 150 people, I'll know 150 people that we know personally, that we can walk up to and say, hey, Bill, how are you doing?
Right.
And then it takes that person to introduce us to another person, gets us to, I can't remember the number. I think it's like 400 or 500. And then outside, and then that person introduction. So 3 people away, we know about anywhere from 800 to 1,500 people. It kind of in that scope. And then, so 5 representatives on a board.
Yeah.
And each one of them knows 1,500 people or 1,000 people. You're up to about 5,000 people. So, and that's about perfect. That's any bigger than that. When you go to, let's say, like bigger cities like Auburn, and that's why bigger cities like Auburn.
Auburn is
bigger than Forest Hills. You start to kind of lose that cohesiveness a little bit, and it gets a little fringy. But then you get to even bigger setups like the city of Sacramento or San Francisco, and everybody goes, "Why isn't anything getting done?" Well, because they're representing. They're representing how many people. There's no
and that's the hard
accountability, no cohesion there.
The hard part with having a rural community in California, because you feel like your voice isn't getting heard because you're this person, but these many people,
38 million people,
their voices are being heard.
Yeah.
So it's like, because you're not the majority doesn't mean you're not getting represented. It's just like, sorry, your vote didn't win.
Yeah. But then that's why we need to move back to, because at a local level, me being a Republican or Democrat or an independent or a libertarian matters no hill beans. No. On that water board. And people don't care what my political view on Trump is at the water board.
That's what I've noticed with town anyways. It doesn't matter. It'd be like, okay, so what grade is your kid in?
Yeah, like exactly. When you bring it back down to a personal level, all that dramatic political...
Like, are you going to the basketball game because your kid's on the team? Cool, see you there.
Yeah, I'll see you there. And you know plenty of people that don't agree with... I know everybody in this town, like whether they agree with me or not, I'm still going to be cordial with them. I don't care. Right. I don't care if they voted for, dog catcher on somebody that I didn't like. We're still... Who's the dog catcher?
What?
I don't know who the dog catcher is, actually.
Voted for dog catcher?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
It's a position in some towns, Tori.
It is?
Well, animal control.
Oh, right. Following. I thought that was somebody's nickname.
I don't know if that's I don't know.
So, but for me, that takes it to the mental health part too. When you say like we're not meant to hold the capacity of so much news for so many people outside of our neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Or your local newspaper, you'd read about it and be like, okay, well, Mary passed away, Joe passed away. Okay, bummer. I know them. I saw them at the gas station. Blah blah. But then when we see like, oh, a murder here, a murder there, like 10,000 miles away. I mean, that's a lot far away. But you know what I
10,000, yeah,
mean?
that'd be
Like our
what, we're going to Europe. So,
our mental capacity isn't supposed to take on so much grief and so much bad news and stress.
mhm.
I don't know. I feel
No.
like that's in turn for the same concept to be like staying local when it comes to, hey, if that doesn't pertain to me and my community and it doesn't directly affect me,
Mhm.
I shouldn't be ingesting that because it's not good for my health.
Exactly, 100%. And that's kind of my view on the world, I guess, is you should
Right.
be like proactive in your community because
Right.
that's where it affects you. It's like your you and I kind of were discussing family the other day. You know, I'm going to take care of my family first, and this community is my family.
Right.
And so I want to make sure I'm doing a good job for them
Right.
on doing what I'm doing, and they can come to. And that's a great thing is people in this community, they can actually find me.
Right.
It's not like they got to make an appointment. They'll run into me at Wharton's. They'll run into me at
Exactly.
freaking if the fire state council meeting. They're like,
Yeah.
you guys want to talk to me? I'm pretty easy to get a hold of.
Well, you don't return my phone call.
That's a lie. You never answer your phone.
don't
You're
answer my phone.
you're the one.
I totally don't.
Yeah. I answer every phone call.
Weird.
That's
All right.
weird. Anyways, I think we've covered everything
I think so, too.
now that we're
That's great.
talking about
Yay, high five
street sweepers.
everybody.
High five, everybody.
I always look for that one and I'm not even in that one.
Well, so I hope you guys enjoyed that interview. Tori's actually pretty good at interviewing for never interviewing anybody ever. And yeah, hopefully we can do this maybe once a month or once a quarter or something like that. But I want to try getting a good dialogue going with everybody in the community. So hope you enjoyed and hope to hear from you soon. Have a good one.